Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Jacksonville Jaguars Insider Podcast. My name is John Shipley. I am your host and beat reporter, and I've been your beat reporter covering the Jacksonville Jaguars for On SI every single day since August 2019, and we are here to march through yet another offseason together. As always, you can find us in our 100% free 24/7 boots on the ground coverage of the Jaguars day in and day out when you follow us on social media such as Facebook or Twitter at Jaguars on SI. You can also find us at www.si.com/NFL/Jaguars. All right, folks, thank you as always for joining me today. We've talked about the AFC South for the last couple of days. Today we are going to wrap it up. We've gone through the ups and downs of the Houston Texans, the Indianapolis Colts, and the Tennessee Titans, including some of the best bits of the AFC South, such as going back to the Cam Robinson well, the Indianapolis Colts not having a quarterback yet still for some reason being obsessed with finding a tight end, and then, of course, every funny memory that Will Levis brought the NFL in 2024. Now that we are looking ahead to the 2025 season, I'm just going to look at the AFC South and the Jaguars' opponents as a whole and kind of give my take on where each team stands in the mix. So I think just starting at 4, and again, this is just for 2025. This is how I think the AFC South will finish this year. Again, could be very wrong. I could be wrong in all 4 spots, but this is my take and how I see things and how I see the rosters, coaching staffs, etc. So just right off the bat, number 4, I think the Tennessee Titans again. I think the Titans are a year away from being a year away from a solid team. I guess I'll just preface it with this. I think the Titans will be the 3rd best AFC South team in the NFL next year. I think by next year they should leap the Indianapolis Colts, and that is largely due to the fact that it appears the Titans, at the very least, have some semblance of a potential quarterback. Now, of course, Cam Ward has a lot to prove. If he has like a Bryce Young level rookie season, then I would pull back that take, but I don't think he will. He would need to have, well, it appears a Bryce Young sophomore season has worked on the masses and has convinced them that Young, is still projecting to be a franchise quarterback. I'm not so sure, but that's the beauty of the NFL. We'll find it out this year. But I think as long as Cam Ward avoids the Bryce Young trajectory, the Titans will leap the Colts next year in the AFC South with relative ease, I think. To me, the quarterback position is so important. And that's what there is to like about the Titans right now. They have a young quarterback who is an exciting guy to build around. I wouldn't think, say, in the 2024 NFL draft, Cam Ward obviously gets drafted behind Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Drake May. J.J. McCarthy and Cam Ward would be close. I probably like Cam Ward's game a little bit more, but I think J.J. McCarthy probably would have got drafted over Cam Ward. So I think Cam Ward probably is quarterback number 5, maybe number 6, depending on the team and the evaluator of the 2024 class. But that's just how the 2025 class was. It was abysmal. There was nobody to compete with Cam Ward, in my opinion. Not Shadur Sanders, not Jackson Dart. And the NFL certainly drafted like that. That they showed us that is what they had felt about the quarterback class. With all that said, while I don't think Cam Ward is some kind of transcendent quarterback prospect who will quickly pick up the Titans and their, copium masses and bring them into relevancy right away, I do think it's at least a good start. But for now, as a rookie, until we see him get some game reps, etc., I had the Titans as the worst team in the AFC South this year. That also, I'd say probably even more so than factoring in that Ward is a rookie quarterback, because I do like Ward. I think Cam Ward will be a good quarterback in the NFL and will have some exciting moments as a rookie. I'm just very wary of thinking that Brian Callahan is anything but a potential, lame duck at head coach. We'll see how things go this year, etc. But to me, he needs to really have Cam Ward playing good football early on. I think even without Liam Cohen coaching the game yet, I think Callahan's the clear number 4 head coach in the division. Who I think will finish number 3, I have the Indianapolis Colts. We've talked about they do have some positives. They revamped their secondary. They have some pieces up front. They have, of course, Michael Pittman. They have Jonathan Taylor. They have a strong offensive line. I believe PFF gave them the number 5 rated offensive line in the entire NFL in their offensive line rankings that came out earlier this week. They have some weapons, etc. They added their much coveted tight end prospect, obviously, in Warren. So you what don't they have? It's the most important part of the football team. They don't have a quarterback. Daniel Jones is not and will not be the answer. I'm not even going to say he probably won't be the answer. I will confidently plant my flag on that. If I'm wrong, I'll take it on the chin, like I'm always willing to do. But I don't think I'll be. Daniel Jones has shown us who he is. You can do some things with him because you can create a running game with him, do some RPOs, a screen game, etc. But fact of the matter, he's not a winning NFL quarterback. Then on the other side, you have Anthony Richardson, who has not developed, who has been injured, who has been wildly and even historically inaccurate. He, of course, shows some good flashes, etc., but they're just flashes. He's never really been, a week in, week out consistent guy. And one of the best parts of his game, his running ability and what he brings as a dual threat, especially in the red zone, you almost don't even want him to use because he's been injured so much and has missed so many key reps, etc. So I have the Colts ahead of the Titans right now because I do think they have a better record. I think they have a better roster. I think they have a better head coach. I think they have a better just all-around ecosystem. But what they don't have is a quarterback. And until the Colts get a quarterback, because the Jaguars have one and the Texans have one, and there's a solid chance the Titans have one. Well, once the Titans quarterback has, his feet under him a little bit, it will be very clear, in my opinion, the Colts are kind of the worst off team in the AFC South right now. Finishing at number 2 this year, I do have the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm not ready yet to say going to take the top spot from the Houston Texans. I will say I do think that they'll push them for it. I do think that Liam Cohen and his scheme, etc., will have the Jaguars offense humming, if not early on, at least some point in the season. The defense, I think, at least has the pieces to go out and be, go from one of the worst defenses in the NFL to at least an average defense. They have the pass rushers. Tyson Campbell's had a good camp. They just need to stay healthy. That's the biggest thing. And then, of course, Travis Hunter, Brian Thomas Jr. What an incredible duo. I mean, even Travis Hunter and Tyson Campbell were an incredible duo. So I think the Jaguars improved at general manager. The roster's improved. The weaponry's improved. The secondary's improved. The offensive line, in my opinion, is improved. The pass rush depth. And I'd even say, time will obviously tell, but I will think that the head coach and the offense in general will take a step forward from where they've been the last couple of years. So that's my take on the Jaguars for this year. I'm not, ready to crown them yet. We still need to see things happen to tell us, whether these beliefs are actually rooted in fact or just me seeing things on the practice field, etc. But for right now, I have the Jaguars as the second team in the AFC South for this upcoming season. That, of course, means I have the Houston Texans winning it for the third year in a row. And I'm going to say that. I don't view the Texans as like a Kansas City Chief or a Philadelphia Eagles team or, in any other team that is just consistently dominating their division and who is the clear best team, best, operated, well-ran franchise in the land of the division, etc. I don't see the Texans as that. I see them as very flawed, actually. I think there's a lot of questions about their approach to team building. Some decisions that they made this year. They obviously have a rookie offensive coordinator. But the other things that they have is D'Amico Ryans, who I consider one of the better, coaches in the AFC. They have C.J. Stroud, a rapidly ascending young quarterback. Then they have Will Anderson, one of the best young defensive ends, if not the best young defensive end in football. And on top of that, they have other guys. They have Nico Collins. They have Derek Stingley. They have, absolutely. Yeah, Daniil Hunter. I was about to call him Griffin as for Everson Griffin. But they have some pieces. They do. Do I think they're a perfect team? No. I do think that they're flawed. The offensive line still has issues, but they do have talent. So that is how I see the AFC South this year. Go ahead and let me know in the comments if you disagree. Thank you guys for listening to today's episode. As always, find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all other podcast platforms at Jacksonville Jaguars Insider Podcast. And you can also find us on YouTube at Sports Videos on SI.